But with the unemployment rate sticking stubbornly at 9.1%, what sectors of the economy are still hiring? Let's ask Matt Ferguson, CEO of CareerBuilder.com, the largest online job site with over 1 million listings. He joins me now from Chicago. Matt, welcome to Bloomberg West. First of all, what do you hope to hear from the president tonight about his plan for job creation?
Well, I'd like to hear that we're going to approach this as a structural issue, not a cyclical issue. I think a lot of the unemployment today is because we have to reskill workers. We have to move them from one industry to another industry. That takes a lot more time and concerted effort and focus from the government and business working together. I don't think we've had a lot of that, and I hope his speech tonight talks about how we can move structural reform around for people so that they can find new work in new industries.
Now, looking at the listings on your site, what are you seeing? What industries are actually hiring?
We see, obviously, you're out in San Francisco, and so IT is a very hot market right now. Engineering is a very hot market right now. We're hearing from employers across the United States that they're having a hard time finding qualified candidates. The supply of labor in that segment is not nearly as big as the demand. Some functional areas like sales, customer service are coming back. I see companies doing a lot more on that front. Healthcare has been consistent in bringing on new workers into that industry. It's becoming a more important part of our GDP each year, and so that's another industry that I see hiring right now.
Are you seeing non-engineering jobs, growth in the non-engineering tech job market, Matt, or just engineers?
Not just engineers. I mean, a lot of those tech companies are hiring the salespeople and the customer service people I mentioned earlier, and I think tech companies generally are doing well right now. They have good cash flow. They have good cash balance. And so I think that area I see across the board are bringing people on. But I do think there's a particular focus, not just in the tech industry, but across the board on information technology professionals to help build new technology projects that will either bring new revenue in or help companies operate more efficiently.
Now, what kinds of industries are not hiring? What companies are you seeing contracting?
I still see construction being a very challenged industry. I think it may be another year or maybe longer before we see construction add a lot of jobs in the United States, and we really need that industry to come back. If we're going to add 200,000 or 300,000 jobs a month in the United States, we have to have construction come back at some point. Manufacturing, I think, is stabilized, but I don't see it growing right now, and that's an area that we'd like to see pick up, and I think there's some possibilities that we could see manufacturing move back to the United States. One of the benefits of a weaker dollar it will be that manufacturing may move back here, and so we'd love to see that pick up over the next 5 to 10 years.
Now, talk to me a little bit about CareerBuilder.com. There are a lot of job listing sites out there, especially now. What makes your site in particular unique?
Well, in the United States, we get the most traffic. We have the most jobs. We have been the fastest growing over the last decade. We're now the largest in revenue in the United States by a big factor, and so that makes us special and different, being the leader in the industry in the United States. We have all kinds of new products, some that give HR executives real good insight into what's going on in the labor market. Our supply and demand product today, which we've launched in the last year, gives a lot of insight into where's the best place to recruit for certain specialties in the United States. And so we've had a lot of new exciting things out there that have helped the company grow.
Now, President Obama is looking to cut the payroll tax in half. What would that mean in terms of hiring?
I think it will help some. Again, I think it's a cyclical response to a structural problem. I hear that he may talk about encouraging companies to bring on people who have been unemployed and reskill them. And I think if you can lower the barriers for companies to do that, that is the best way to get people transferred from one industry to another industry where there's going to be more opportunity for the rest of their career.
But in order to reskill workers, don't they need to take a lot of time out of the actual workforce? Is that really a practical solution?
Well, it's never easy. I don't think it is for certain specialties. It depends on what you're trying to achieve and what skills you're trying to give that particular worker. I think it's probably a lot shorter and easier than people think. And I think if a company is focused on a limited number of people so they can absorb and really help train them, that I think easily within a year, maybe even 6 months, you could give somebody who's a very ambitious person the skills to be successful in a new industry.
All right, Matt Ferguson, CEO of Career Builder. Thanks so much for joining us here on Bloomberg
Yeah, thanks,
West.
Emily.